Now, let's talk about one of the most ridiculous tanks in the game, the FV215B 183. One of the most, and what used to be the most hated tank in World of Tanks Blitz. And this thing was a lot stronger back in the day. It was more accurate, I think a little more agile. It definitely had a lot more going for it. And over the course of time, Wargaming has constantly been nerfing this tank up until the point where I think it's gotten now to the point where most of the player community is okay with it. This is one of those tanks that you don't ever really play to focus on, okay, I want to get my win rate up. I want to have the best performance. No, this is a tank that you play when you're just wanting to wreak havoc and just do a silly amount of damage per shot. And I'll be honest with you, it is a lot of fun. But the thing about the FV183 is it's not this tank like many others that you can strategically approach and engage your enemies very often. There's so many downfalls with this tank. It doesn't have a lot of armor. It's not very maneuverable. It does have a turret that can rotate a little bit, but not very much. Maybe just 90 degrees. So not even a full 180 degree, but tank destroyers. So I mean, that's what you kind of expect with tank destroyers. And it also has just bad accuracy. It does have good penetration on its AP round, so you can cut through quite a bit with that. And it does have pretty good pen still with its Hesh round being quite lethal in what you're seeing in this replay. So yeah, this tank is one of these, as I was saying, not a tank most of the time that you can really strategically approach and come up on your enemies very often, because they will most likely be able to either detect or outmaneuver you, or the fact they have a turret. There's a lot of other tanks in the game that have a lot more benefits over the FV183, except its super high average damage cannon, which nobody wants to end up coming across. And that is really one of the only things the FV183 or the Death Star has going for it, is just this ridiculous high damage per shot it can do, and why it is just, in my opinion, one of the most fun tanks to play and out of the tier 10 tech tree. Now, it's definitely not the best, but I love it when you can get so much high average damage off per shot. I mean, if you look at all the other tier 10 tank destroyers in the game, they either have better maneuverability, way better accuracy, better camo rating. I mean, they just have a lot more going for it. I mean, you look at the grill, that thing is way more accurate. You look at the T11OE3, that thing has really good armor from the front. You look at the 04, it's got a 180 degree rotating turret. It is more accurate and a bit more maneuverable. So yeah, and then you got the YOLO wagon, the Object 263, that has good armor from the front and just it's quite maneuverable as well. So anyway, just thought this was a fun vid. Who doesn't like the FV183 unless you're the one getting shot by it? This is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.